I'm part of plenty of anime groups across the internet. I watch tons of anime content on YouTube and join discussion threads on Reddit and Facebook. And let me tell you something silly has been happening. Base Cabba. It's a phrase that strikes fear into every fused character from Dragon Ball Z. But now, Base Cabba is being hyped to levels on par with characters like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. People are going wild with this idea, but the truth is, this revelation has been around for a long time. Let me explain why these things keep coming up and why after thinking about this one small detail, people question everything they know about Dragon Ball Super scaling. I'm talking about possibilities like Krillin potentially soloing the Buu Saga, or Android 17 going from Super Saiyan 1 level all the way up to Blue level. In a previous video, I talked about how prodigies were to blame for most of the wacky power scaling, but I didn't mention a more recent issue, which in my opinion is far worse. By the way, this will be anime only, so keep that in mind throughout the video, because the manga does have different story beats. It all goes back to this one moment. The moment changed Dragon Ball scaling pretty much forever. If anyone's missing context, let me explain. In this scene, Goku absorbs God Ki into his base form. This can be argued, but the most common interpretation is that Goku took the power of Super Saiyan God and brought it into his base level, making his base form as strong as his God level fight with Beerus. Not sure why that's a problem? Well, let me break it down. Let's use some transitive scaling. Transitive scaling meaning if A is stronger than B, and B is stronger than C, then A is stronger than C. Goku and Vegeta can combine their powers to form an exponentially stronger fighter than the sums of the two simply put together. Goku stated that a modern fusion between him and Vegeta wouldn't be enough to face Beerus. Not even close, even with Super Saiyan 3. If Goku's God form was around 70% of Beerus, that would mean his God form was stronger than Vegito from Dragon Ball Z, pre-God absorption. So this Vegito stomping Goku absorbs that same power into his base. The power that makes him stronger than fusion into his base form. This means that anyone on base Goku's level would be able to beat Vegito and practically all of Dragon Ball Z. It doesn't stop at Cabba. Let's go even sillier. Krillin. This guy could beat the ever-living hell out of Dragon Ball Z Vegito. Let me explain why. In the episodes where Goku fights Krillin, Goku used his blue form. Back when this aired, everyone kept praising the concept of ki control. Goku getting pressed by Kale in blue? Ki control. Krillin slightly pushing back blue Kamehameha? Ki control, obviously. And if you asked, well, why does Goku even need to transform then? People would come up with long-winded explanations, ultimately boiling down to, it's to practice ki control and blah blah blah. But think about it. Why wouldn't Goku have the most control over his ki in his base form? Even if Krillin was too strong for base Goku, he could have used regular Super Saiyan, which we know he has complete mastery over, including full ki control. He was even pushed out of base form into his Super Saiyan form right before the Kamehameha showdown, so you don't even need the Kamehameha thing to scale Krillin up, but it just makes the argument more concrete. So why bring this up? Goku needed anything but his base form to push back Krillin's Kamehameha. Simple as that. Blue is stronger than base, and Krillin was stronger than base Goku because Goku needed any transformation to beat him. So, by the messed up property of transitive scaling and Dragon Ball Super's own broken logic, Krillin scales above Vegito. You don't have to love it. I sure as hell don't, but that's just how Super works, I guess. Maybe Krillin trained like 1,000 years in the time chamber or something. Either way, Krillin solos Dragon Ball Z, and that's only one example of how Goku's God base messed everything up, power scaling wise. For now, back to the main point. Why is everyone so surprised that base Cabba is overpowered compared to Dragon Ball Z characters? It's because the implied scaling in Dragon Ball Super makes Super characters laughably stronger than their Dragon Ball Z counterparts. Do I think the author intended for this interpretation? Probably not. I'm mostly talking about the anime here, so they likely took some liberties with the modern scaling. I doubt it was Akira Toriyama's idea to have Krillin going head-to-head with Vegito level characters, but then again, we'll never know. But yeah, that's why Cabba is considered a monster in the verse. Cabba scales to Vegeta's base, Vegeta's base scales to Goku's base, and Goku's base scales above Vegito. Vegito solos Dragon Ball Z, so by extension, Cabba would also scale to soloing Dragon Ball Z. While this wacky scaling may get some people more upset than others, it does give way to some funny discussions. The Cabba memes alone have gotten bigger than just the power scaling community. You know it's serious when the creators of the games and even Cabba's voice actor himself have to acknowledge base Cabba supremacy. And yeah, that's all I really wanted to talk about today. If you enjoyed any part of this, maybe drop a like and subscribe to see more of my anime takes.